Whether you've been using Microsoft Teams for just a little while or for many years, there are lots of features that most people don't know about. Many of those features can make you more efficient in Microsoft Teams. I'll give you 5 tips to be more efficient in Microsoft Teams with those slightly unknown features today on Tuesday Tech Training. Hello, and welcome to Tuesday Tech Training. My name is Jennifer Stewart. I'm the owner of Gateway Productivity, and I'm a tech and productivity trainer. Today, I want to teach you some tips on slightly unknown features in Microsoft Teams. One of them is brand new, and several of them are things that are there, but they're slightly hidden, or they may be things you just don't think to use. The tips and features we'll go through today are first, the brand new option to either see new posts at the top or the bottom of the screen, how to pin a post or a chat so that it's easy to reference and you won't lose track of it, the benefits of using the back arrow in Microsoft Teams, how to use the search feature effectively in Microsoft Teams, and lastly, we'll talk about how to use help in Microsoft Teams. It can tell you a lot more than you think. Let's jump right in. Here we have the new Microsoft Teams. So if you're in the older Microsoft Teams, it may look a little bit different and this feature won't necessarily be there. But if you're in the new version of Teams, and you can tell this by looking up in the upper left corner, your icon will have the little new on it. I know this is teeny tiny and you can't see it, but you'll also see it when you open Teams, it'll say it's the new Teams. And that's how you'll know which one you're in. So if you have the new Teams, you have this first feature, which is currently the posts start at the bottom. If you would prefer to see new posts and this option at the top, you can click the 3 dots in the upper right corner. And in this dropdown, the very first option is to see new posts at the top. Now, what Teams had done is they had automatically put them at the top, and I think it confused a lot of people. So now they gave us the option to have it at the bottom or the top, whichever you prefer. So currently I have the Start New Post at the bottom and the newest items are at the bottom. I can actually switch this and choose See New Posts at the top. And then now we see Start New Post is up here. It looks slightly different. And then my newest posts are up here. Next, we'll look at how to pin a chat or a post. Since we are in this location, we'll start with posts. And the difference is your posts are going to be in your Teams channels, and then your chat will be in the chat area. And if you have any questions about which one you should be using, I have a video on the difference between chat and channel, and that link is above me now. So back to pinning a post, all you have to do is hover over that post and you'll see the 3 dots. That's always going to give you more options. I always recommend clicking on it. So we'll click on that. I'm going to drag my picture out of the way. And now we see the option to pin. If you pin a post, this will happen for everyone. So you want to be careful with this. You may or may not have access depending on your company. But if you do, when you pin it, and you can see it gives you that same warning that I just said, that it will be pinned for everyone. So we'll go ahead and pin it so you can see what that looks like. And what that does is it gives it a little pin icon. So that makes this post stand out with this little pin sticking out. And so if you scroll around, you'll always be able to see it. Now, obviously, if it goes below the scroll, then you'll have to scroll back up to see it, but it does make it stand out. So that's what the pin looks like with posts. Let's look at pinning a chat. We'll go over to our chats area, and let's say that I needed to pin this one right here. Again, I'm going to hover over it. I'm going to click on the dots just the same way. And in this case, if I was chatting with someone, in this case, it's just a chat for me, but if I was chatting with someone, it will pin it for everyone in the chat. I'm going to pin it just for me. And we'll see that in the chat, it actually takes pins up to the top. Let's pin this one as well. Okay, and this will replace the currently pinned one. So what happens is with a chat, you pin one thing at a time. So since I already had one thing pinned, this will replace the pin. And that puts it up at the top so that we don't lose track of it. Are you learning something new from this video and you'd like to see more videos in the future? If so, you can click the subscribe button that's below the video. Once you do that, you'll see a bell icon. If you click on the bell, you'll receive notifications each time a new video is posted. Now we'll look at the special back arrow that Teams has. This is up at the very top. You'll have a search bar in the middle, and on the left of that, you'll have a back arrow and a forward arrow. Now, the forward arrow is not live unless you've gone back to a previous page and then you go forward again. What you can see here is when I hover over this, it gives me an outline of what I've been doing in Teams. So this can be really helpful if you're someone who tends to get lost in Teams and you can't remember where you were. Go hover over this back arrow and you'll be able to see all the different places you've been recently. And so you can go right back to where you were. That was a chat that I was looking at. And then I could go back to this here. This is another chat I was looking at, and then I can use my forward button to go back to where I was. And again, once you have gone back and forward a couple times, you'll have your forward button that has some options as well. So that should help you be able to find where you were to find what you were looking for. But if that doesn't get you what you need, then I would highly recommend using the search feature. So that's what we'll talk about now. When you search, what you want to think about is what is a keyword that isn't a super common word, not a word that you're going to have in every single post and every single chat. You want to pick something that would really pull out what you're looking for. If it is a chat, you could just search a person. Or if it's you don't remember where this thing was, then you can use that keyword. So I'm going to do that. I was doing something with an Excel document and it was actually called Excel document. And so I'm going to search Excel and see if I can find this. So you can see here, it gives me first the messages that had Excel in it. It has the files that have Excel in the title or within the document. And then you could also, if this also included people, then you would have people listed as well. In this case, obviously, we don't have anybody named Excel in the organization. So that is all of them. If you need to drill down even further, we could go into the messages. And then if there were a lot of meeting chats and posts that had that word, you could drill down a little bit further. Here at the top, you even have the chance to filter. So you could filter by whether it was in a chat or a channel. If you knew that, you could choose a specific team that you knew that that conversation took place in, when it happened. So there's lots of ways to do deep searches in here. And then again, with the files, you have the same type of thing. You can drill down a little bit further with these pieces of information. The last thing we'll look at for this video is the help feature. This is actually now buried. If you have the older version of Teams, it's in your bottom left corner. The newer version of Teams, they've now put it in the upper right with the 3 dots. So this is settings and more. And here is your help. So Get Help will take you to a place where you can do a search in help. Video training will take you straight to the video trainings and so on. So let's just choose Get Help. And here I could go straight for the training button and see what all kinds of training were in here. Or I can just start from here and do a search. You could see even in the training area, there's a search. So you can really search from anywhere in help. And this is if you have trouble remembering how to do something. And so let's say I forgot how to hide a channel. I can put hide channel in there. I can search. You can either hit enter or hit the little magnifying glass. And then here you have all the different options that have hide in it, that have channel in it. And so you can find exactly what you need. And we'll go click on that. And here you can see there's a video to explain it. And if you go further down, it actually writes it out for you as well. This help feature is huge for those who are new to Teams, and especially if you just feel like you're kind of moving around in Teams and don't really know what you're doing. I highly recommend spending some time doing some of these video trainings especially. I hope that gives you some new things to explore and to make you more efficient in Microsoft Teams. My philosophy is always go look around, click on the buttons, kind of see what things do. Just be aware of where you are. When you're in channels, you might do things that affect other people, whereas when you're in chat, you can do things in your own chat with yourself and practice. You could create a chat with a friend and you two could practice together. I highly recommend going through and just exploring all the different areas and doing some practice if you're not real familiar with Microsoft Teams. And if you've been using Microsoft Teams for years, there's always more to explore and there's always more that's being added to Teams, as I'm sure you know. If you still feel like you need some help with this or any other tech challenge, feel free to schedule a tech stress breakthrough call with me. You can do that by clicking the heart in the monitor that's above me now, or you can go to my website, which is gatewayproductivity.com, and click on the Let's Talk button to schedule a time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.